Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought we would do today is I have the small dragon mold from Pouring Your Heart Out. I ordered mine from the US Amazon store, which she does now have in stock, but you can also get it from her eBay store. And I'll link both in the description for you guys. The last time I did this, I just got that everywhere. I used chameleon powders, but this time I want to use chrome powders and paint this up. And I'm going to do it in blues, but I'm going to paint these little lines here in gold because I think it will look really pretty. I'm not going to worry about the sides, though, for the gold. I'll just do it in the blue as I go along. And I'm not going to clean it up either. However it lands is how I'm going to leave it. I do need to get down in that little tip, though. That's a little pointed edge, I think, to these little pieces. But I think this is going to be really, really pretty. I'm not going to put it on a time lapse to paint this up either, because I'm going to do it pretty quick. I don't think it'll take long, because I'm not going to do so many colors like I did on the big one. Just going to do a few colors. And like I said, I'm using the 30 color kit of the Baltic Day chrome powder because there's so many different colors in here. They have an even bigger kit I would love to have. It's got even more colors. But anyways, we'll do with the 30 we got. Okay, there we go. Now that's all I'm going to do as far as that. Now, I want my wings to be a little bit lighter than the rest. I'm not sure about that brush. Let's try this one, because I'm also going to do these little arm bits down in here with the wings. And like I said, I'm not going to do any cleanup. However it goes is how it's going to stay. Now the good thing about chrome powders is you can back this with any color you like. It's not going to really make a difference. I probably should have done those gold as well, because now you're not going to be able to distinguish between the wing and that little arm piece, but that's okay. It's how it's going to get. I think it's going to be pretty anyways. I love chrome powders. I think they're just gorgeous. Okay, now I am going to get the sides with the chrome, because I do want the whole dragon to be chrome, other than the back. Back will be whatever color we fill it with, which will more than likely be black. Get down in that little area there. Try to get the side. Like I said, I want it all to be painted up. Down this little hole. And then here. There we go. Just put a little more color on there. Just in case. Isn't that pretty color? Now let's do the other wing. I don't spill it everywhere first. See if I can get down in here. And get this right up through here. Like I said, I'm not being the cleanest painter today. But the colors will mix. And it's still going to look gorgeous. Okay. Now, see if we can get the rest of this wing here painted up. And get this area here. Chrome powders go a long way, so you don't really need a whole lot. I use these all the time. I really like them. I started to do in green and I was like, no, no, no. I do everything green. I just love green. But then I thought, well, blue would be pretty. I think this was going to be really gorgeous in these colors. For some reason, it's not wanting to stick to the mold there. So, we may end up with some black spots. I hope not, but maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it, because, you know, that happens a lot with chrome powders as well. You look at it one way and it looks like it's not on there, but I'm telling you, that just looks like it's not on there at all. Doesn't matter what I do. I think it's a place on the mold. Oh well, it'll be all right. If we get one little black speckle, he'll still be pretty. There we go. I don't know why it won't stick. Unusual. Alright, we are done with this one. Now, sapphire blue. I'll use this and see if I can get down in this head. His eyes are so small. I don't have eyes small enough to fit, so we will paint those black after he's done. And I'm going to try to remember to use my eye crystal resin to fill this up, because I think it's a thinner resin. It's a 2-to-1 resin, and I think it will get down in all those little areas a little better than just a regular epoxy resin. There we go. Try to get down those little holes. There's a lot of little holes down in this piece. He's got ears and what have you. Get his head here. His horns. Okay. If I can get down in that horn. I think I got it. All right. I think we got the head good. Now, I'm going to do the feet the same way. Same color. There we go. This other one over here. And you guys, if y'all don't want to watch me paint this, you know you're more than welcome to fast forward through. Which I'm sure you already do that anyways, but here we go. Sometimes it's hard to just sit and concentrate and watch somebody just paint up a mold or what have you. Okay, get this one over here. Get those talons or claws or whatever you want to call them. Okay, there we go. Now, last color is royal blue. Okay. I don't know how much of a difference this is going to be from the other blue. But we'll see once it's cured up. Try to get all of it. Yeah, it's a little different, isn't it? There we go. I think he's going to be pretty. Okay. This is more got like a bit of a purpley tint to it, I think. And it could just be me. I'm going tomorrow to get me some new glasses because I need some trifocals because I can't see. I should have got them the last time I went, and I didn't want to admit I was getting old. But I admit it. I'm getting old. I need them. Which I'm not that old. But I am thankful for every day that the good Lord gives me. I've been very blessed. Okay. Get that little chunky leg there. I'm not using as many colors as I did on the big one. Figured I would just keep it as simple as I can. But use some different colors. I just don't want them all to be the same color. So I like color. I heard these brushes were good brushes, but man, they like to shed. There's every one of them. Well, if I can get some color on my brush to get down in there. I'm about half tempted to take and do the main tip, this light, what is it, light blue? I think that'll be pretty. Make the main tip a lighter color. Match his wings. And there we go. Now we can finish. trying to get every little area, but it's like some of the areas just don't want to pick up color. And I don't understand why. But it'll be all right. All right, we got him painted up. So let me get these put up, blow this out. That way, hopefully, we don't have too much color floating around in there. I'm going to put these brushes back up. All right, guys, I am going to mix up. I think I'm going to mix up about 10 ounces. And then we'll be back to pour. And I'm going to use the eye crystal. So, let's get that mixed here. Let me get me a... All right. Now... if I want 10, let's see. Wonder if he'd hold 9. Because I can do 3 and 6. My eye crystal resin. Now there's a discount code on there. It says Resin Pro 10. Gives you 10% discount code for the Resin Pro. I really like this eye crystal. I like their pigment dyes as well. But this is the 2-to-1 resin and it's really thin. So let's see. We're going to do 3 of part B. I'm splattering. All right. Look eye level when you look to see how much you have. And then we're going to do 6 of part A. So we're going to go to 9. Hopefully 9 ounces will be enough. So that'll be 6 ounces to 3 ounces. Because 2-to-1. 2 parts A, 1 part B. And you can do this by weight as well. And I'm going to use my Let's Resin black epoxy pigment. If I can get it to squeeze down. There it goes. Doesn't take much. Very highly pigmented. That's all I'm going to put in there. But you can see how this is like water. I mean, it's very, very liquidy. All right, guys. I'm going to get this mixed up. Get it in the vacuum chamber. And we're going to be back to pour in just a moment. See you soon. Alrighty, guys. Got my resin mixed up. Put it in the vacuum chamber. Now, this resin did take a bit, did bubble quite a bit up. Almost like a deep pour. But I'm just going to see if I can pour that down in there. And I'm going to pour some and then I'm going to kind of roll it around. I'm going to do this slowly. There's kind of a bit of a film on there. I just want to make sure I get down in all these little holes that's up in here. Kind of bounce it around a little bit. That way if there's any bubbles down in there, maybe they'll come out. I would love to have that head in one piece and not have to do any cleanup after. That'd be awesome. And I don't know how much this holds. 9 ounces may not be enough. So, we'll see. I see some bubbles coming out of there. Do y'all see those? I think 9 ounces is going to be plenty. Get these wings over here. I don't know why there's a film on that. My room's not that cold. What is it? 74.3 degrees? I've never had it get a film on it before. But, you know, we'll work with it. Get his little feet. There's a little foot over here. I think he's going to be really pretty. These feet aren't filled either yet, are they? So let's pour some resin up in there. Now, let's see if I can do this without spilling it. As long as I don't jerk, I think I'll be okay. All right. Now, we can continue to fill him up. His wings. A little in the head here. It's all leveling out. Hopefully he doesn't do like the last one kind of had spots that was a lot higher than others. I think he's going to be okay. I think this one little tail spot maybe. There's a hair. One little spot right there. Let's see. I don't want to lift it too high. I don't know if that'll be too high or not. Let's see how it does. As long as that wing doesn't overflow. Let's see how this works. I might be too high. I think I'm too high. Let's get a paper towel. Sometimes you need just a little bit, but not that much. So, I'm going to fold this paper towel in half. And I'm going to set that up right there and see if that will fix it. Okay, I think we're good. But I'm not going to put any more resin in there. I do not want to overflow him. So he took, I had 9 and I got about 2.5 left. So, yeah, the wrong spritzer. I hate that bottle. There we go. Now I've overflowed over here because of that. And I knew I would. So, let's see how that's going to do. I probably need to get another paper towel. I think I'm just going to end up having to clean him up. Yep. I believe he's just going to have to end up being a little cleaned up. I could take a little bit out, I suppose. I don't need to take a lot. Just enough to try to prevent that from overflowing so bad. Just see if I can scrape that off. Let's go down that way, I think. And still too much. So, he really didn't need that much, did he? Not what I thought he would take. Okay. I think we can leave it there. So, right under 3 ounces. So he took just a little more than 6. So 6.5, plenty enough to fill this little sucker up. And I've got bubbles. I'm not going to do that yet because I've already spritzed it with some alcohol. What can we do with almost 3 ounces? Guys, give me just a minute to find a mold and I'll be right back. I forgot that I had started this one earlier. So I'm going to get an interference powder. Give me just a second here. See if we can find like a pink or a red or something. Oh, let me climb the wall. Oh, goodness. Here we go, pink. Since he's got reds in there, we're going to use the Lutz Resin Interference Pink. And I'm just going to put a little bit down in here. There we go. That right there. And we're going to stir that up. Interference powder in black is gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning, I think. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm creating bubbles. So hopefully we don't get any down in this turtle. And I bet this will be more than enough to fill him up. Okay. Now, this is a very thin resin. Just going to spritz a little alcohol on top of that. And I spritzed a little bit down in here. And then we're just going to pour it. And see if that's going to be enough to fill this turtle up. And then we'll have to create him a shell. Okay, good deal. All right, he is full. I've got just a little bit left. I don't know if I have enough to fill this snail, but we'll see. Now he's got some little tiny antenna down in there. So we're definitely going to have to squeeze him. If it's enough to go down into his head. Yep, it went right down into his head. So let's give him a little squeeze and then we'll scrape the rest of this cup. Now he's just... Well, you know what? It looks like it's already went down in there. I bet I don't even see a bubble come out. The good thing about this little mold is you can see completely through it. There's a bubble. Came out on this side on the bottom. You can see completely through this mold. So if there's bubbles, you see them, which is awesome. But he always turns out so cute. And he doesn't hold much. I did a craft show, one of my craft sales last month, and it was so funny because I just throw all this stuff into a box and put on it $1 each, and people really love it. Teenagers especially. So, but even adults do. I had one of these little snails, and it was so funny because the boy, he said, okay, I think we're okay on that. He said, I'm getting one of these snails, and I think he was getting it for his girlfriend because he said his girlfriend was always slow like a snail, so he was getting her a little snail. I bet she wouldn't want to hear that. All right, guys, we're going to let all this cure up. This is why I like this eye crystal. Those bubbles have already popped. And they pop very well on their own. So it degasses very, very well, even if you don't put it in the vacuum chamber. So we'll let all this cure up and we'll come back for a demold. So I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so these have cured up. So let's make a turtle shell. The easiest way I find to make this is with UV resin. I like the Bond Crafter UV resin, the hard type, because it's cheap. And I do have a 15% off discount code for Bond Crafter, I think. Whoops, and I just got something down in there. But you can get it in this big bottle. So for projects like this, the big bottle is absolutely what works best for me. You can use whatever kind of UV resin you want. I'm just going to slowly fill this up, and we're going to cure it in layers. Now, if you want a little sparkle, you could put some of this in a cup and use some of your crushed crystal, and that will put some little sparkle in there if you want it. I'm just trying to get all the bubbles off the bottom because I'm going to pop those. But I don't mind if there's bubbles in there because this is a turtle. So, yeah, turtles like water. Okay, now get my little lighter. I'm going to go across this and just pop those bubbles that I brought to the top. Okay, and I've got something in there. I can see it. I'm going to see if I can get that out. There we go, and there's something else. All right. I see another little bubble. Got him. Okay, and I'm just going to pop this under the light for 2 minutes. Now, this probably won't cure through both sides, but I am going to do both sides on the light anyways. So once this is cured in 2 minutes, we're going to come back and we're just going to keep layering it until we get it completely full. So see you guys shortly. Alrighty, so that has cured up nice and solid. I like my little sloth scribe I made. You can't find them. It's hard to find a scribe. So I made my own. And all you have to do is you get these, this is an 8-inch one. And you can get a 6-inch one. And they're just, oh, what do you call them? They're like drink picks. But they're awesome. I looked everywhere trying to find one. And all I could find them was on TikTok. And I couldn't see paying the shipping and the cost for one of those when I could make my own. So I got on Amazon, bought the beads, and got a few of the beads off of TikTok. And then got the toothpicks, the metal toothpicks, in 6 and 8 inches off of Amazon, which is awesome. And then just use earring backings to hold the beads on. And you can see that down there. Just an earring backing if y'all ever want to make your own little scribe to move around your resin. All right, next little layer is going in. Let's go ahead and demold these what time those are in there. I'm going to do my turtle first because he's my little extra. I think we're going to use the snail for his little knob on the shell. I think that would work great. And this mold is from InterResin, which I do have a 20% discount code for any InterResin mold, and that does include the sales. So, if any of you all use their molds, I know they're expensive. Silicone's very expensive. Okay, I have a little bubble there, so let's go ahead and fix that. Just going to put a little drop out here. Now, I like a toothpick for that. I'm just going to put this right down in there. I put a little too much. So I use my other end and just scrape some of it off. There we go. Wonder if I can get that in there as well. Let that, whoops. Guess not. Don't want to mess that up, so we'll just use our little handheld. This little thing doesn't take 10 seconds to cure up a little spot like that. Okay, now it's smooth. Should we put something inside of it? A little sticker or something, I believe. I think that would be cute, wouldn't it? I'll have to find us something. But he turned out really well. He crackled up very nicely with those colors. Really like that. To be a dump mold. He turned out really cute. Get this cured up to where I can, yeah, and see, that's how quick that is. Yeah, and my 2 minutes is up as well. All right, it didn't get quite to the bottom. That's not a problem though. Could have used just a little bit longer. Let's just get that cleared up and out of the way. All right, we're going to deal with that in just a minute because we're going to go ahead and do our next layer. Make sure it's getting cured. I'm just going to round the edge. And just fill up however much you want. You don't want to do a whole lot because of you do want it to completely cure. But where it's clear, I'm not worried about it. Now there's a bubble and I think it's in. Okay. Can I get that out? Sometimes if there's a bubble, you can get the resin to go right down in that little hole and it will fill it up. But I don't think I can get it. But like I said, no problem because it is a turtle, so I can deal with the bubble. Take your lighter always and just quick little across the top. Put this in there. I'm going to give that just a second, let that level out. There we go. And put it on 2 minutes. All right. Now, because we can put a little UV resin on that probably and cure that up too once we put a sticker in it. Let's get this dragon out because I'm so curious to see what he looks like, if he's got any bubbles. Ooh, his tail's still a little soft. There we go. I don't want to break it off. Amputate a dragon's tail. I don't think he'd like that too much. Daggone it, still bubbles. His horns every time. He needs a little cleanup. Always here. Always. And then those 3 there. So I can fix those. We'll paint his eyes. I'm going to trim this up. Probably go around the whole thing. He's got a couple little just spots here and there that need trimmed off. Actually, they're coming off quite easy. So, no problem. He turned out really pretty, didn't he? Let's move that out of the way. I thought I'd already got rid of it. Guess not. Move that. I should have just left my UV resin since I was going to need some more for my dragon. Where'd I put my toothpick? Okay. I like a toothpick better for this. I find it works easier for me. Okay, we're just going to get some resin to flow right down in those little holes that are missing. Okay, now when I do this, I like to kind of do it upside down. Let it kind of form a little knob. And just let it cure here for a second. And our 2 minutes are up on the tray over there. Okay. That one's good. Let's do our next little bit here. So we are almost there. This is why I like the big bottle. You use the little one, you're going to go through quite a bit. doing something with UV resin this way. I think one more time and he will be done. Now, take our lighter, get those bubbles we have there. Okay, I think we're good. Put that under there for 2 more minutes. Now let's continue working on this little fella. Get this little knob over here. If I can get it to kind of just roll down in there first. That way I don't end up with a bubble down in it. There we go. I still feel like that one needs to dome up a little bit. Okay. Now let's get these cured up. Yeah, they're domed up good. I just want it rounded. Just let it cure. This is a pretty strong little UV light. I got 2 of these, I think, in a pack quite some time ago. Of course, off of Amazon. All right, let's see if we can get these little ones here. I just don't want them to be sharp. Just a little more here. And you can build them up as high as you want. That's all your preference. Okay. Now, see if I can get these to cure up. I love those colors. The wings being lighter and the tip of the tail matching the wings. Okay. We are cured. Now, let's cure this up. You really can't tell the difference between his head and his body. They kind of look the same, don't they? The tail looks like it got darker. But the body and the head look the same. And we're finished over there on our shell. Okay. Move that out of my way. Is there any more spots? I think I only see that one. A few little tiny drip drops here. It's more that bigger one. That'll keep me from sticking my arm in it. All right, let's finish this little guy up. Oh, I ended up with bubbles. It's cured though. Well, can't put it in there if you don't take the lid off. Oh, we got a big bubble over there. That's the worst part, is could end up with bubbles. Okay. Just going to do one more little drip drop. I wonder if those are on the top to where you can get resin in them. No, that's down in there. And that one's down in there. That one can come out. I think he broke loose is what happened. See this bubble coming up? Yeah, he's broke loose. So resin's going to go right up under that. I must have messed with it too much. If I can get bubbles out. Well, that's why you don't want to break your piece loose. It's all right. We'll fix them. That's all I can do, is just fix them after. But I think what I'm going to do is let it sit for a little bit in case any of those other bubbles want to come out. It's not going to cure until I turn that light on. That's the good thing about the UV resin. All right, we'll let it sit for a minute. So get this off my table. Okay. Now, I know I got to clean this up a little bit. I just threw that in the floor. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys, I just can't take it. All right. Now if I can hold on to him, just going to take this and see if I can I just scraped the whole back. See if I can scrape off this extra here. Now I have a deboring tool, and I think I just need to put a new knife on it. It's never worked properly, or blade, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's never been sharp enough. Okay, got that off. Now, a little bit back here. You can just take your knife and barely scrape it, and it will get that excess off. Do it kind of at an angle. Okay. Oh, my tail. Alrighty. We're going to leave that alone. And we're going to get this snail out. I like this little snail because the antenna usually don't break off. They usually all come out in one big piece. And it's easy to get the bubbles off. Now, the bigger snails have been known to break a few antenna. Okay. Now, I'm going to be putting him in that UV resin. So I'm just going to follow this down just a little bit because those edges are a little raised there. I just want them to be a little more flat. And he's still a little soft. That's why you see those pieces coming off like that. Okay, now let's get us a paper towel. I'm going to spritz him with a little alcohol and just wipe him off to get all that resin dust. There we go. Now, how does he feel sticky? Is it my gloves or is it him? I can't tell. I know he's not completely cured yet, so I think it may be that. Anyways, got all that off. The little antennas where they need to be. Let's check and see if we got bubbles come out. Alright, where's my lighter? I threw it in the floor. One more time around to pop all those bubbles that came out. Now let's cure this up. 2 minutes, and then we'll get that out. I'll see you back in just a moment. Alright guys, so I found a sticker to put in here. I like this one because I think the flowers kind of match it. And it's just a bunch of different stickers that say different things. And this one says, "Hope anchors the soul." which I think is really pretty. It's just a UV DTF sticker. So you're going to peel the backing off first. And then we're going to see if I can get this in here as straight as possible without bubbles under there. There we go. Just rub it around. They stick pretty easy. It's getting that clear top piece off. That can be, yeah, a bit. All right. Let's see. We can find the clear piece and break it loose. Kind of hard to get down in there, isn't it? If I can see. Okay. I can get just a little bit of it here. All right. Now let's see if I can. I don't want them. Where's my others? Well, I've misplaced them. Nope, there they are. See if I can get a hold of that and now pull. Nope. Maybe I can get this under it. When you have a little area like this, it's a bit difficult to get these started. But once you do, I'm tearing it, I think. I feel like I'm ripping it. If I can just get a piece of it started enough that I can actually get a good grip. There we go. I think I got it. There. Now, do this kind of slow so you don't pull your sticker parts off itself. Because you see that piece? You need to put that back down. Rub it a little bit more so it will get that part off. And it is very, very sticky. You get one shot and you're done. That's all you get. Once it's placed, it is placed. And there we go. I can get rid of that. Okay. Get that stuff out of my way. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to seal it. I'm going to put just a little UV resin down in here. I shouldn't need a lot. Just enough to cover the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little scribe, my little sloth. I love sloths. And we're just going to spread this out. And then I'm going to put it under the light. Okay. UV resin's really good for things to top coat like this. Now this is just the regular hard type. I don't need the thick viscosity because I've got a wall there to hold my resin from going over. They do make a soft type UV resin, and I've never used it, but I would think it would be better for things that you want to bend and you don't want solid. So I'm not sure what you would want that for, but you know, I'm sure there's things out there that needs that kind of resin. Just pop my little bubbles here. Okay. I see one there. Think I got them. All right, we're going to get this out. We may have to cure the other side. We're going to throw this in. All right, see my little bubbles? Now this side's going to have to be cured because it didn't cure down in there. The first time I did this, it cured up very nicely. This time, not so much. The sides, anyways. The top did. If it hadn't leaked, it would have cured fine, and it wouldn't be still uncured. That's just where it leaked around down in there. And I'd already built it up so high. Now I'm just going to spread this to the edges. Okay. And I'm going to take my lighter to this as well. And I may have put too much because I've still got to put my little snail in there. We'll see. Just going to set him right down on the top there. And I'm going to stick him in this light. Move over, turtle. Share the wealth. All right, we'll let that cure up. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, guys, so this is cured up. It's completely cured. So there is our little box. Ain't cute? Our little snail. I don't like how the UV resin had went under the box because now it's got those little ripples. But anyways, it is a very pretty box. I'll give that to one of my nieces or sisters or something. I guess I could trim off the edges, couldn't I? Alrighty, guys, that is it. This video is done. We got our dragon done. Now with these little bubbles, let me show you what I'm going to do with those because I don't like leaving them exposed. So I like to take just a silver, or you can use gold. I think I might do a gold since we've got gold in his wings. And then you can just put tips, gold tips. You could also do them, you could do them, do them blue. I forgot what I was going to say, guys. Sorry. And just go across the top ones. And I like to highlight these little places as well. And I'll take him outside and I'll spray him with my Krylon clear glaze. I love that stuff. Yeah, it shines up any piece. If you want it shiny, it'll make it shiny if it's matte. And it seals in your paint. So it's really, really pretty. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to clean that spot up. I made a couple of spots on that one. Okay. So let's just get me a little swabby here. See if I can get those off. I don't want to take it outside and spray it with spots where I went over my lines. There we go. Just a little alcohol does wonders, doesn't it? All right, now for his eyes, I'm just going to do black eyes. Got some alcohol. All right. Now, it's a little difficult to get in here to his eyes. I believe I can. There we go. I got that one. This one's going to be much easier. There. And let's get his nostrils. Easier to do when his tail's bendy. Alright. That's it, guys. Got his little head fixed up. And we are done. So I'll snap some photos, put them at the end, and I'll see you guys back for the next video. So bye for now.